What is going on, all-terrain nation? Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or these badass Broncos we all like to, well, I hate to say we all like to. I don't hate to say it. I hope to say we all like to drive. This is your Bronco Talk Live presented by White Knuckle Off-Road Products. They do rock sliders. They're a sponsor of the show. They've been friends of our show for a long time, and all they ask is just go check their website out. Whether you buy anything or not, all they want to know is that you went and checked them out. So, what is going on, ladies? Allie's all made up, ready to go because she's got an important guest that she brought in tonight. So I know that's what it would be, right? That's why you got like, hey, if I'm going to be professional, I got to go all at it. But,
hey, girls understand hair appointments and how long they take to get in. Okay,
100%.
It's will not look like this tomorrow. It's going back in a messy bun, most likely.
Hey, I literally booked 2 appointments. I've got my next 2 months already booked, man. I love apps.
I love how you have a hair person and I don't even have a hair person.
Well, my hair person is because it keeps falling out, but that's for another channel. That's Rockvale Nation. But this is Bronco Talk Live, guys. And in the comments below, you know Kelly's going to say hi to you in just a minute, but we've had some exciting times, man. You two ladies were not in the last show. I want to say a special thank you to Dwayne with Driven Wild Outdoors. Jumped in last minute with me because I hadn't done these solo in a long time. And I
was tired.
Yeah, those dang customers keeping me late at night. Freaking Bronco owners, I'm telling you.
Well, how is Bronco World with Brighton Ford, man? Everything smooth?
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of our units like with no issues, no holdups. It's definitely going more seamlessly, and Maya's obviously here right now. But I'm hearing things at the plant that things are getting better, but dealer cutoff for COVP is tomorrow. So unfortunately, if you have not made changes, this is your last chance. If your order does not get pulled, I've called it for a while. Unfortunately, we're starting over in 24. So it hurts to say, but it is what it is. And Ford will base their orders on what they can build.
I was going to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, that means like from scratch, no existing reservation holders, no nothing in 24. Correct. We're talking like straight up starting one.
Yep. And there's been I've watched, well, from when I could watch the pages today, a lot of people are like, well, my dealer called saying like, I have to cancel my order. They probably know they cannot build your order due to allocation. So unfortunately, it comes to that point. You didn't make the change. They don't think it's going to get pulled. Unfortunately, it is what it is. And I mean, it sucks. I don't mean to make it sound heartless because I know how much fun I've had with my Bronco. I want other people to experience the same. But unfortunately, there's only so many things they can do. And Bronco has been the least affected from things being taken away from the vehicle, which I do assume that to change in 24.
So it's okay. I'm the one that has the heart on this channel, Allie. It's okay. Everybody knows.
Wow. No, but we have talked about this even before Allie got on the show. I said, hey, they're done after this year. Like they're not with this stuff anymore. They just can't. Like that's just big business. They can't keep getting dinged and dinged and dinged by people waiting. They just have to, hey, we all start over, But anyway, so tonight we've got a special guest. We've got Mr. JJ, owner of the I'll let Allie, you introduce this person because you know him a little better than we do.
We have JJ from IAG here tonight. He runs and operates everything. You will see him at all the events. He is your go-to guy for all of us. I actually met him at Supercell in Tennessee last year. I talked to him on Facebook a couple of times because us short people love the steps and we needed an option for our rock rails because I was about to tear up my seat.
So let's bring Mr. JJ in. JJ, what is going on, man? Welcome into the Bronco Talk Live, and we're happy to have some IAG talk on this channel.
Oh, can you hear us? He might have muted us.
I don't know. Allie better text him real quick. So we'll do this. We'll pull him out of there. There we go. JJ, can you hear us?
Oh.
We had some problems earlier, so we'll let this go.
Can you hear us? No.
Nope.
JJ?
Ground control.
Oh, wait, is he muted?
I didn't
unmuted and then
Yeah, I didn't mute him. So
no.
Oh.
Sorry, there was a problem with getting him hooked up earlier, so Allie's probably rapidly texting over there going, "Hey, can you hear us?" Anyways, I'm excited to talk some IAG products because, well, we really like their products, and we saw that we ordered the struts when those came out and never installed them.
Yeah.
Just I forget why. Did we give them away, or we were going to give them away, or something? I can't remember.
Or either in the garage or we gave them away. It's one of the two things.
And it was nothing against the product. It was just like, we know at some point we're doing something different anyway. So we thought, well, we'll bypass that for right now. But we got to meet the guys over at IAG at Supercell. Like Allie was saying earlier, we got to meet them at Supercell and really was impressed by it. They brought their prototypes of the cup holders out, something we both have been for a long time. Like, hey, somebody
cup holders never
more than others.
Somebody needs to bring a cup holder involved. And JJ, can you hear us now?
I can. Yeah, that's great.
There we go.
We can hear you too.
JJ, like you guys, first off, I want to say thank you for being on the show. But second off, I want to say you guys like came at it hard for Bronco. Like you saw initially the soft top with the little strut. Like you guys saw a need for that real quick. And then when there was an issue, and I've commended you guys many times about this, was there was a little issue. You guys quickly, without anybody asking, there was no big flare up online. You just started sending out the replacement part. And like your company has been top notch with, I think probably top 2 of all Bronco aftermarket right now. Of like, you guys are just on it, man.
We try to be, and obviously we take it very seriously. We've got, we have a staff of 80, but almost all of them treat it just like it's their own business. And when we have problems, everybody, kind of comes together and works on the solution, because they understand that, the one thing we can't ever buy is our reputation back. So
yes,
it's very important to us.
Well, so let's get into that a little bit. So you guys are known for Subaru, if I'm right.
Correct. Yep.
So you guys kind of jumped into Subaru. You made a name for yourself in there. And what led you down the Bronco path? Did you guys get bitten by that reveal ad? What was going on there?
It's a great question. As Jim mentioned, we were doing Subaru stuff, and one of the parts that we make for the Subarus, which is an air roll separator. It's a part that's designed to basically mitigate the crankcase pressure that's inside of an engine, and specifically on turbocharged engines. We did have some capacity to make, we could make more than what we could sell in that market, because the market's relatively small. And we were looking for another market to get into. And we thought the Ford Raptor market was actually a good market to get into. So we bought a Raptor, and we did all of the research and development on the Raptor, got the part on there. We basically were driving that around for about a year and a half when I'd heard that the Broncos were coming out, and I just thought they looked really cool. And said, hey, you know what, we're going to get into the Raptor market. We might as well buy or order a Bronco. So we did. And we were a day one reservation holder. And just like everybody else, we didn't get, our reservation wasn't filled for a long, long time. But we ended up buying 2 just off of a lot.
Yeah.
And I drove our 4-door around for about 4 weeks straight, and I fell in love with it. But I also realized that there was, a huge opportunity to solve some problems. I have 3 kids of my own, and, between, we lifted it up right away, and then getting in and out, we realized we needed to do something for steps. Lack of rear cup holders, poor lighting on the inside of the truck. I mean, all kinds of things that just sort of, kind of were not too difficult to solve, but they needed to be solved. And we used the same resources that we use on the Subaru, side of the business, and basically went to Town Engineering Parts.
So when you see there's a handful of problems initially with, and I don't mean like problems like the Ford just developed a bad vehicle, but there was things that could be plussed up a little bit. How do you find out which one do you attack first, or is there a priority to that? Was it soft top being difficult in the rear to kind of keep that up? How did you guys go about that?
So, because I was driving it every day for about 4 or 5 weeks, it was just like situational. So, I would have, like, I remember on the soft top thing, the first thing that happened, I was carrying a bunch of boxes, and I wanted to put them in the back of the truck. And I kind of pulled the truck open with the gate open with one finger, and I went to go put the box in, and it was a 19-inch tall box, and it wouldn't fit in. And, so then I kind of like fumbled with having to hold the box and try to get the top up, and all that kind of stuff. And I realized right away, I'm like, this is a real pain in the neck. And this prop rod is an even bit bigger pain in the neck.
Yes.
And so, that was problem number one. And then the next day, I took my daughter to Cars and Coffee, and I went to go put the top up at Cars and Coffee because it was starting to rain. And we had just put it on, I think, 35s, and I could barely get the top up by myself even. So it's basically situational. I drove the truck, and like everything that I kind of came across, I was just jotting things down. And then after I drove it for about 4 or 5 weeks, I gave it to one of the guys that's in our research and development department, basically our engineering department, let him drive it for a week. We kind of passed it around, and we all sort of got together and compared notes.
What was nice too, that Ford built this thing to be plussed. I mean, they definitely, you only have to look at Jeep. You had a good playbook of kind of things people want to do to their vehicles, and the fun thing about these style vehicles is they lend themselves to spending money on aftermarket, and that's great for your company, but it's great to personalize the vehicle in itself. And we initially saw your that little strut that you guys did, and what a clever idea to solve that. Something, the ideas that you guys come up with sometimes, and I'm not blowing smoke up your butt about this, was like, why did Ford not already, why were they not already there?
Why didn't they catch
like
it?
You guys were so on the money, and it wasn't just like some guy in his garage that made something work. Everything looked like it belonged.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's interesting on the top, the strut situation. Originally, what I was trying to solve was just getting the back up, being able to access the cargo area easily. And so my original design kind of came off of the near the latch area and came up to push the strut, the top up. And then one of my guys in the shop kind of came up with the idea, because there was the provisions already there in the framework, to mount it up in the framework, and that way it could stay on the top when you had to pull the top on and off. We didn't realize until like kind of a couple days into the development of that it was going to aid in actually putting the top up and down also.
Right.
So but you're exactly right. Ford did, they've done a really good job of making things easy for us, in the aftermarket. And I'm saying that, from coming from working on, Subarus, and before that on Volkswagen and Audis. And, it's always, the aftermarket is never at the forefront of them designing things. And with the Bronco, they obviously have put it right at the forefront, which is excellent.
Oh yeah, 100%. And then those accessory spots in the front, and really, like you said, they really made a point to make sure that it was modifiable. I mean, Allie knows she's done all the things to hers, and lots of folks in the channel are talking about it. And JJ, you've got a lot of fans in the channel tonight, because several folks have said I've got like 5 or 6 items, and I still have more that I need to buy and things like that. So definitely have some fans in here. So we're glad that you guys were able to join us tonight and really kind of talk IAG tonight. And we really like your website too. Like, I have to say, your website is easy to navigate. I can't say that every website from a aftermarket perspective is easy to navigate. So we really appreciate that part of it, that you can actually find the products that you're looking for your specific vehicle.
And if you're new to this is, I'm trying to bring this up because this is what we're talking about currently. It's a simple little strut. It's a way to mount the strut to the soft top. And if you don't have it, you don't realize what you're missing out on. Now, we've said earlier, we haven't put ours on because we do plan on putting a different top on ours down the road. So we're going to donate ours to one of our viewers, or if we still have it. I can't remember if we have it.
I can't rememre if we've given it away or whether we still have it in the garage.
But I've messed around with enough Broncos to know when you have this, that just holds it up really nicely. It very, very well thought out. What was the next kind of product that you guys said, hey, this is, because I don't think people realize too, you guys have to case proven parts. You just can't do your dream part because it may be $1,000, and then people think instantly IAG's too expensive. Like, this was a great idea of $100 or so. It was affordable and it solved the issue. What was kind of the next down the line that you guys went, there is a home run for us?
The rear cup holder. Yeah.
Kelly.
The thing is, a lot of, and I'm glad that you mentioned this, because, sometimes people get frustrated with us when we talk about being in the development of something and it takes us a long time to release it. The reality is that that's multifaceted. The first part is, like you mentioned, testing it. And for instance, the air oil separator that I'd mentioned on the Raptor, we tested that on that Raptor for 2 years before we sent the first one to a customer. We put 20 miles on it. On the Bronco, we've had them on the 4-cylinder for I think about 1 year and 5 months so far, and on the 6-cylinder about 1 year and 3 months. So I mean, we thoroughly test the products before we sell them because we really don't want to have problems. And that's not to say that there won't be a problem.
Sure.
The soft top situation is a good example. There were tolerances and assembly situations that happened, on the factory level that we didn't account for. And then we had to kind of go back and kind of re-engineer for that. But, we'll test for 1 year, 1.5 years sometimes on products. And then even after that, there's a development. I mean, there's a production time. We have to have some of these things made, and things like the cup holder, for instance, there was injection molding that had to happen, which meant tooling had to be made, and then the part had to be made, and then we have to test it, make sure it's good, and then go back and do the production.
Yeah. Well, injection molding is expensive. So that's not something that I know in the world of 3D printing, because I saw some of y'all's 3D printed stuff that y'all were like trying to figure out, does this work or not? Yeah. And people, when we saw it at Supercell, me and Kelly obviously knew what we were looking at, but you guys were showcasing ideas, which was really nice. And coming to an event like that to showcase ideas that I think I don't remember who we talked to there that was kind of walking us through, because we did a small interview about it.
Yeah, I think Fred.
But they were very upfront about, hey, we're still trying this. And he was listening to feedback, and whether any of our feedback ever went back to you guys or anybody that got to see it in person. Like, it was nice that you guys were just out there with taking notes, listening to what customers might want. And, even the initial design that the way y'all had it, I thought was pretty cool. And then you guys made it even better. And then once we got ours, because Kelly couldn't wait, my daughter couldn't wait to have one in the back, because why afford to think of this? But then you guys even went a step further with the newer models, and you've even made it even better, some of the bracing and stuff to the mount to it. So I commend you guys for not just resting on your laurels either. And really, with the strut, you could have been a company that been like, hey, that's your problem. We built this, we tested it worked fine. And, there are some companies out there that I've seen, and I'm not going to name any of them, but they want to be first to market and not best to market. And I think that's where you guys went out.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, sorry.
No, go right ahead.
We certainly, we're human, and of course, that wasn't going to be the last mistake we'll ever make. We'll make other mistakes, but we do our best to stand behind things, and absolutely 100%. We want feedback, and we want to be engaging with our customers and making sure that they're giving us, all of their pain points or things that bother them. And it could even be things that bother them about products that we currently sell and have. And we want to improve, on some things. Obviously it's more difficult to make changes than others. As you had mentioned, like the tooling cost on the cup holder, for instance, we're talking, a lot of money, in tooling. So it's difficult to make changes, right away until we can justify, paying back on some of that tooling. But we certainly want to hear about it, and we are always open to improving products. I mean, every product we sell, we're always kind of trying to work on improving it, even as we're selling it. The next version of it will always be better than the last. Yeah.
And the cup holder, like me and Kelly for a long time, the cup holders, we were so excited at Supercell to see that, because we had both, being journalists, I remember going through the Bronco just being like, what are they thinking? I mean, obviously it's an off-road vehicle. The marine grade leather lends itself to being off-road. People want the doors off. They probably have a drink still. And they had vinyl. And the leather seat, you're like, well, you got to move to the leather seats. Well, you sold me a product that said, this is easy to clean, this is this and that. And then you took away like one of the key features. So for you guys to think of that one was pretty cool. Allie, what do you got?
Well, my biggest thing is of why I found IAG is the steps. 100%. And I know Nikki had a question, and I'm going to have to find it again.
I think I have it stored.
But that was like the easiest and fastest one that came to the market that I think took off, because a lot of people had the same issues to where we wanted the rock rails. We want them to be able to help protect the Bronco. But I'm 5'2". I only have 33s. I could barely get into my Bronco as it is without stretching. So that's just one of the things. I don't have people in my back seat. I don't have to worry about cup holders. I have a dog bowl I have to throw back there and call it good. She's good.
It's over.
But Nikki
JJ's face.
does have a question saying, I need steps for a 2-door Badlands. Like what size? Like which one is which?
How low do they go, and are they removable? Was her question.
Sure. Yeah, they're very easily removable. They're held on with 2 pinch bolts and a nut that just locks the pinch bolt down. Takes, I've taken our steps, all 4 of our steps off of our 4-door when we've gone off-roading in about 2.5, 3 minutes. It really doesn't take any time at all. And they can be put back on in probably about 5 to 7 minutes. As far as the heights, there are 2 different versions that we currently offer. One is the V1 is what we call it. And that one essentially is flush with the top of the rock rail. So it ends up being about a 5-inch step down from the carpet on the inside to that step. And then the V2 is actually flush with the bottom of the rock rail. So it ends up being about a 7.5-inch step down, or about, or an 8-inch step down. It ends up being about 2.5 or 2 3/4 inches lower than the V1. So, essentially there's about a 2.5 inch difference between the V1 and the V2. The V2 is the lower of the 2.
Yeah, I brought both these up. We got the V2 up right now, which is definitely
So you need this one, Nikki.
So we sell about 3 to 1 V2s over the V1s. Most people
really
V2,
yeah,
because
in my brain, the way my brain works, I want flush to kind of to the door or closer to that. But it does make sense.
Not 5'1", 5'2".
No, yeah, and it does make sense for vertically challenged, because I'm not a tall person by anything. So it does make sense to offer that.
If you're walking up a set of steps in a house, or whatever, it's about a 7-inch step, right? So the V2 is about a 7.5-inch step from the step to the inside of the truck.
It's pretty natural.
Yeah. Where the V1 is only about 5 inches. And so it's a little bit of a short step. It's a little awkward, in my opinion, but
what works for whoever works for whatever.
Yes. Exactly. Yes. I too also like that you make it customizable too, like colors, which is nice. That you want to kind of match your Bronco a little bit. That's actually some thought put into that, which I like a lot.
Yeah, that's feedback from customers. We had customers ask, well, what, I've got a Badlands, or I have, this, my truck is this color, and Allie's a good example of that. She had mentioned to me at Supercell that, her accent color was kind of this aqua or teal. And I was like, actually, we sampled teal and I have some at the shop. I'll send them to you.
And he did. So I have teal ones. I love them.
Awesome. That's awesome. What do you got, Kelly?
No pressure.
I know.
The chat is like blowing up. I'm trying.
They are. It's hard to keep up. So, this is a big one, because I know that this is a big question from some folks. The alternator. Are they working on an alternator fix for going in muddy water?
Yes. Short answer, yes. Long answer, refer back to what I said about the testing part.
Yeah.
We've been testing since, oh geez, man. I think it was probably June of last year or July of last year is when we
we were kind of talking about it at Wisconsin, and that was July.
Yeah.
I think.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. So actually, so I guess it's been since July last year. And we've had a few different versions, on our trucks, and, so far everything's working really well. But again, we need to make sure that it's going to work for a long time before we release it. Anybody?
Oh yeah, because alternators are expensive, and you guys having to plus one up or however you're doing it, it just adds more cost to it. So you don't want to send something out several $100s and then instantly.
What I will say is our solution is our first solution, at least, is going to be a retrofit onto the factory alternator. So it should be pretty inexpensive. And
nice.
should be low risk, from a customer standpoint and from our standpoint. So as long as our testing continues to work out pretty well, we'll file for a patent, and then once the patent's been filed for, we'll actually talk about release at that point.
Sure. Is that a problem in your industry of you come up with an idea and then instantly, some startup company decides they want to kind of steal your ideas and
run with it?
Yeah, run with it. How does a company like you protect yourself with that? Is it just once the patent's filed?
It's difficult. Yes, you do have protection once a patent's filed, if you're granted the patent.
Right.
So, and obviously most patents can take up to 4 or 5 or 6 years to actually be granted. Now you can accelerate that process, which we did with a soft top strut system, for instance, and mainly because we developed that part. I had a full disclosure. I had a customer actually that works at a dealership, a Ford dealership, that bought one and was dealing with a supplier overseas, and actually sent our kit to the supplier overseas and had them recreate it.
Ooh.
So, fortunately enough, we had already filed for a patent at that point, and it was another 9 months probably before we were granted the patent, and we've been able to kind of chop the head off that snake.
Yeah.
And to be clear, the intention is to protect, obviously, our intellectual property. There's a lot of time and money invested into making a part like that. And, our intention is really just to protect our intellectual property. If there are simple things like, let's say, bull bars or like winch mounts, like fog lights, things that we know we're going to have competition on, we're not ever going to patent any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We're not trying to protect, our interest in things that a lot of other people are going to make. What we're trying to do is protect our interest in the things that are a novel idea, somebody hasn't done before.
I think, people always, especially with, Jeep's had, we'll say, a good solid 25 years of good aftermarket. They always had some aftermarket, but we'll say really good aftermarket. And people come into Bronco maybe expecting everything to be as cheap as the way Jeep is. And a lot of that is, I had a buddy that built bumpers in America, sent them to China because they would buy the design so they could mass build them, whatever four-wheel parts company of the time wanted to build a bumper. But, when people might question, well, why is this, this seems simple. Why is this $100 or why is this? And it's because you guys have to protect yourself. And I think a lot of people forget that fact that you're a business that has to turn a profit. I mean, that's just how you won't keep the lights on if you cannot turn a profit. And if you got everybody sending the parts over to China because they want to make it, whether it be a floor mat or something like that, you guys have to protect yourself. And that does add to the cost sometimes.
Well, and the additional part of that too is, if you think about it, like, your name is your name and you want to protect that too. The last thing you want is something to go out and be a knockoff product. And then somebody goes, man, those IAG steps, when it really had nothing to do with you, other than you came up with the idea of how to mount it, how to do all these things. But then the quality is not there of what you would be putting out as a product too. So, and on top of that, that's huge too.
Excellent point. Absolutely.
What do we got in the questions?
A lot.
Jeez.
I haven't
it's great.
been able to keep up with half of it, which is a really good thing to do.
I got one.
There you go.
But feel free to keep looking, Allie. David Zarko says, question, JJ, do you allow walk-in purchases for local residents in your Westminster office?
Absolutely. Yeah, we don't have a showroom in our current plant. We moved locations about 4 years ago, and we used to have a really nice retail showroom where we have people in and have all of our stuff on display. When we started getting into much more heavy manufacturing, we opened a plant about 6 miles away from our original location. And when we did so, our intention was really never to have walk-ins. And we really just were trying to make the products and kind of do all the logistics that had to do with getting the materials in and out. But we will absolutely take walk-ins. We do have a waiting area. We're happy to take anybody on a tour. We actually like showing people kind of how things are made. It's too common in this industry, like you had mentioned, that somebody buys something and then they send it overseas to China and have it made. Most of at least all of the IAG branded stuff, the non-I-line stuff, we make inside of those four walls. So
Nice.
things like the steps from a flat sheet of aluminum, that's 5 feet by 10 feet long, and flat steel and chromoly bar and all this other stuff. We make all that 100% inside that building.
Awesome.
From bending to all the deburring, all that stuff. We're actually in the middle of setting up a automated powder coating line because we've been subbing our powder coating out. So we make the steps and other parts there, and then we sub it out, have an outside company do it. And we've had some varying results and quality problems with some of that powder coating, as some people may have seen. And because of that, we're actually trying to, bring anything that we sub out, we try to bring in house. So we have
well, and that's a tough one for you guys, because all these parts are your babies, and when you have to rely on something that you guys aren't either set up for just yet, or that's a tough one I've seen the people fussing about it, but I'll say even with powder coating, it's not a perfect situation.
Yeah, and it's so hit and miss. And I have to say, so 502 Bourbon Crew had issues with the steps, sent an email, and IAG sent replacements within a couple of days. Awesome company. Thanks, JJ.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, we obviously, like I said, we stand behind our stuff. We're not perfect. We
sure.
Certainly can't be. It's human, but we stand behind everything, and we do take it seriously, and we don't ever want any unhappy customers out there. So
yeah,
we'll try to everybody happy.
One thing Ford did when they sold the Bronco was they wanted to brag about this open air experience. Oh, we don't have the crossbar. We didn't need that like the Jeep did, which lent itself to amazing views and some issues that lighting. And you guys, this is one of those things that caught us surprised at Supercell, was because we just thought, well, it's just poor lighting. And I had some kind of redneck engineering ways that I thought, well, I could solve this problem myself. But you guys really went to battle in this one, and we saw early versions of these the interior light LEDs, and I know a couple went out to some people to kind of test that. You guys wanted to make sure, I don't know if it's that the common person could install this or why you would send parts out, but the feedback that we had heard from those people that got it thought they were amazing, and you guys took your time to get this one out, because this isn't another one that could have been just, we got to be first.
Band-aided together.
Well, we got to be first. We want our name on this, and then it's just kind of a garbage product. But you guys got these lights out, and then your video of the installation of it is real nice. I like the fact that there's not some guy just trying to be cool in the background, like, "Hey, I'm doing these lights." Like, you guys just, because YouTube's not your business, so you make a video that's just a nice install video. It's clean. If you need to pause it, I've done it many times. Kelly's done it many times. We go to install something. It's nice to have, normal YouTubers do these things, but you guys did a nice professional video on these. And was this just a matter of like, you late at night, you open the door and you're like, I can't see anything?
Yeah, actually, true story. Again, this goes back to, just a problem that I happened to come across. I was actually taking my oldest daughter down to visit a college in Southern Virginia. And I had gotten a call, I think it was late in the afternoon, about 5 o'clock. Obviously, we were still, business hours were still open. And I'd gotten a call, and somebody needed me to write down a couple of things. So I pulled over on the side of the road, and I'm digging in the center console to try to find a pen. And even once I found the pen, I couldn't see anything. I literally couldn't even see what I was writing. And, I had the dome lights on. I'm like, I have my daughter turning her phone on to try to just shine on the, on the paper so I could see what I was writing down. And I got back that Monday and I was like, we need to work on dome lights ASAP. I mean, the lighting in this truck is terrible.
Yes.
It really is. It kind of surprises me because I guess I never had that issue in my F-150. I always had great light in the thing, but I have to say, from everyone who has already bought the lights, they've posted pictures. It looks fantastic. It's super bright in there without being obnoxious, and I think everyone's had nothing but positive feedback on that too.
Yeah, that's
I've
great.
got a photo up now of them.
I was going to say that we get some comments, people making comments about being able to I could buy this light or I could buy that light off of Amazon and make this work. The reality is while the lights look like something that's commonly available, they're not. We actually had every part of that was engineered. The LED panel was engineered, the actual shape of the hood, the amount of, ribs in the hood itself to act as a diffuser so that it wasn't too bright or wouldn't hurt your eyes. And the angle that LED panel is in there, all of that stuff is very different than commonly available parts.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what, you guys are a good company, is because once again, anybody could have just slapped something together, did some 3D printed something and started out of their garage trying to sell this stuff. But you guys have enough ingenuity about you to pause. Let's breathe. Okay. The excitement of the idea is there. Let's just make sure that everything, it works well. And of course, wiring any of the lights is, to do this, that had to be the hardest part, right? Is trying to figure out how to wire this where a guy in his apartment complex or in his garage could do this and feel comfortable doing it.
Yeah, it's there's always that balance. You want it to be simple enough to install, but you want it to be a good product. And we tried to make it as simple as we could. It's not the easiest part to install, and a lot of people are intimidated. As soon as you say wiring, they get intimidated. But we tried to make it simple enough where you have a ground, essentially in the harness, and then basically running everything else down to one point, and there's a single wire that you hook up. And
Yes.
it's not the easiest, but it's also not the hardest. And we tried to make it as easy as we can, and with the instructions, make it as clear as we can. And the other side of that is having the support on the backside. If a customer is having trouble finding the wire or having trouble understanding where to run things, we have a customer service team of about 4 people. And so you can call anytime we're open, and we'll, or even on chat, and we'll do our best to kind of help you through problems.
What I'm hearing is Dave could even do it.
Even I could do it. I can rebuild a motor, but you give me 2 wires and I'm lost.
He hands it over to me.
Yes.
I've heard that a lot, actually. Do wiring. I'll do anything else, but I don't do wiring.
What was nice that Ford actually pre-wired. If you get the switches, they actually pre-wire things. So that, for me, confidence in that does help a little bit. So how excited were you guys? So car guys and truck guys just generally are different.
Different people.
Yeah. How was it when you told your company, hey, we're going to move into the Ford product? How excited was the engineers, or were they like, I don't know off-road, man. I know street cars.
And I can say this because I know that most of our Subaru customers aren't listening, but normally I would deny having said this.
they won't. No, this doesn't go anywhere. Don't worry about it.
It's all good. No, I mean, I'm half joking, but the reality is that we had gotten so, invested in the Subaru market that we ended up taking, a high percentage of market share on a lot of common products. And there really wasn't much more to go after, like our aerial separator, we have over an 80% market share in that market. And so no matter what we do, there's only 20% left.
Yeah.
The other 5 competitors, so when we brought the Bronco in, it was very, very exciting for everybody. Everybody couldn't wait to get their hands on it. I mean, they were just chomping at the bits. And, it not only exciting because it's a new vehicle, but it's new challenges, things that we had not looked at before, even thought about before. And just a new platform altogether. Just everybody was excited. And then being able to send people, home in the trucks, for a week and let them drive it. We had a few members of our engineering team that drove each of the trucks for a week. And it was exciting. I mean, it still is. It's still very exciting. Yeah. And
So, and a plus that, as being a guy who loves off-road, I've all my life been a part of the off-road community. The idea of somebody that's not in the community jumping into one of these vehicles is actually a plus, because they look at something with different shade glasses. There's a different approach to it, and it might bring some different ideas that, us guys stuck in the old, manual transfer case days, and I just need a steering wheel, a 5-speed, and that, we look at things with, maybe in a better light than you guys can look at it in a better light than we can.
Yeah, it's a balance. I mean, we have members on our staff that have been in the off-roading community in the past, so it's good to hear their insight and feedback. But as you said, it's also nice that we have sort of a new, fresh perspective, and we're not looking at things. We don't look at Jeeps and go, they make this for a Jeep and they make it this way, and that's how we should do it for the Bronco.
Yeah.
We try not to even look at that stuff. It kind of acts as noise in a sense. So no, I agree with you. It's good, but we also have members on our staff that have been in the off-road world.
Oh, nice.
One of our lead the guy who actually runs our fabrication department on the product development side of the business, had Jeeps for 7-8 years and was off-roading them, had, big, I don't know, 44s or, like Walkers and I mean, all the stuff. It was really, really into the rock climbing and all that kind of stuff.
You go from Pilot Cup 2 tires to massive 40-inch tires. Like there's no middle ground. Yeah, I need either big or super sticky.
What I'll say though is I'm a car guy at heart. So really to me, it doesn't matter, whether I'm working on a Subaru or I'm working on a Corvette or I'm working on a Jeep or a Bronco. I like all kinds of cars. Our business model has always been and always will be about solving problems.
Yeah.
As long as the vehicle or the platform has a problem, we're excited about solving it. Regardless.
Well, can you solve Subaru's problem? Because they're taking all the fun cars away, man.
Yeah, that's
I saw their lineup at the Chicago Auto Show. We were up there covering that, and I was just like, "Come on, Subaru, give me fun again!" Like
I don't know what they're doing.
Their booth was amazing.
The good thing is Bronco customers and for our Bronco customer base is that the longer that Subaru kind of sleeps at the wheel, the more time we can continue to spend on the Bronco stuff,
Right.
which is what we want to do because it's fun and it's exciting and it's new.
Yeah.
You know? And our Subaru customers don't like to hear that, but when Subaru used to make about let's say 30,000 WRXs a year and maybe 20,000 STIs a year, so we had about 50,000 new cars coming into the market that are potential customers.
Yeah.
And I think they maybe have sold 9,000 WRXs. They sold 9,000 WRXs last year, and that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we went from 50,000 new cars coming into the market to 10,000.
Yeah. So it's good for the company too. Then broaden your spectrum a little bit.
Yep.
What? Sorry, Allie. I know Kelly was doing something. What's another question we got? A people's question we can ask.
Sorry, I was doing family stuff. Your dad just called. Hey, can somebody check on him? So sorry. He's good. He's good for everybody. He doesn't ever call like ever. So I just had to double check. So y'all, thank you. Let's see.
I actually have a question from
Go for it.
Big BW. When will the 5 fog lights be restocked?
The indicator light kit, yes. They are coming in, I believe, the middle of this month, around the 16th, and then we need a couple of days basically to sort of unpack that container and put them actually up online, but should be in the next 2 to 3 weeks at most.
And then
How have you adjusted to that? Like you guys think, okay, I'm sorry, Allie. No, but it's part of that. How have you guys you go, okay, we're going to build 100 of this. And then suddenly like the first hour, those 100 are gone. You're like, damn it, man. Like
it's been interesting. I'll tell you actually a funny story since you mentioned it. We do our best. We take our best guesses on what we think we're going to sell in a year of a certain product. And that kind of dictates what our initial production run is and how we allocate our time. And on the soft top assist system, for instance, we were thinking, we'll probably sell 1,000 to 1,500 a year, something in that range. So I think our initial production run was 1,000. And because we try to put basically anywhere from 8 months to 12 months of product on the shelf at a time.
Right.
And we built those and we turned it on, I think on a Thursday or a Friday. I think it was a Friday, actually. It was a Friday for sure. Nobody was paying attention. We came back into work on Monday and we had sold like 1,300 over the weekend. So we realized that there was a huge misjudgment there.
Yeah.
And that kind of taught us that, whatever we think we're going to sell is probably way the heck off.
Yeah. Add 20%.
One way or another.
Yeah, we tried to do our best to guess on that stuff. Steps is another example. We thought we would sell, 1,000 steps or so. And I think the first weekend we sold 660 sets.
Wow.
So it's been challenging. And with the eyeline stuff, obviously that adds a whole nother level of complexity to it because the stuff is being imported. And, from the time that I order it, there's about a 30-day production time. And then it's about 45 days on the water. And then it's time to actually stock it. So, I mean, it could be 90 days, before we actually have stuff back on the shelf if we run out of it. And
that's in a perfect world, right?
That's in a perfect world. Yeah. And not in a post-COVID world.
Right. Right.
Well, some of that too, I see every once in a while you guys in the forums taking a little heat on, because you guys don't just sell your own products. You guys actually, there's other things that are mass produced that you guys offer from time to time. And I think people lose the sight of like, there's mats. Like, once again, injection molding is expensive, especially when you're trying to do rubber mats and stuff. And I know you guys were first to offer a lot of that stuff. And then your Chinese, every Amazon guy in the world tries to offer the same thing, and it gets confusing for people. How do you approach bringing a new product like that in? Not trying to, well, you want to be first, but at the same point, as soon as you get it in, every sticker fab or whoever, they're going to want to jump on that same bandwagon as you. How do you look at ideas for that? Or how does that process, I guess, work? When you see something, China comes up with something, there's definitely Broncos that have been taken over there so they can develop parts. How do you go, that's a good idea that we don't want to do, but we want to offer?
Yeah, that's a great question. We work directly with the manufacturers there to not only vet the products and vet them, but to kind of dot our I's and cross our T's. And what I mean by that is, they can make good parts in different parts of Asia, whether it be China, Taiwan. Taiwan actually has really good quality parts. And obviously good stuff comes out of Japan. But you have to hold them to a standard. And in addition to that, it's important to kind of dot the I's and cross the T's. They can do a pretty good job of getting a product pretty good. But then you've got to kind of say, you know what, I don't like the way this harness is done, or we're not real happy with the way this mounts, and kind of get them to fix that kind of stuff. And that's the biggest difference between the product that we offer and the stuff you're going to find on Amazon is we've had them do things built to our specification the way that we want them done. Like, you'll notice, like with our mud flaps is a good example. You'll find mud flaps that look similar to ours on Amazon, on eBay. Mm-hmm. They're not the same flaps. The flaps themselves are a different material. Ours are much softer. They're less brittle. The hardware that comes with them is stainless. It's not mild steel, that's been plated. We offer clips to replace the factory clips, because the factory clips commonly break, and even the ones that don't break don't hold in real well. Yeah. All of those things there are these small, minute differences that if you're looking on the surface, you probably wouldn't realize it. But if you actually dig in and look carefully at the product, you'll notice that our product is different than the other commonly available products.
Yeah, and that's the things, folks, that not everybody understands when it comes to small businesses. Like, we've talked to other small businesses before, and we always say this when we're talking to, you guys are a big business, but this small business from the perspective of is that there's a lot that goes into the R&D process. Like JJ said, all the way down to the clips needing to be replaced, and knowing that from hands-on experience doing it, not just buying something off of a shelf and saying, here's a product, really doing that R&D process to say, hey, how are we going to best serve our customers, whether it be, hey, we just need a couple extra clips in here. And that makes all the difference in the world, because who wants to be doing an install and then you break a clip and then you go, oh, how do I do that? For those that don't know, sometimes that can be a pain in the butt. It's stuff that's on back order sometimes. Sometimes you go to the dealership and the dealership has no idea what you're asking for. And no offense, Allie, just some dealers don't know. Their parts department don't have any idea what they need to do.
I'm not gonna lie, I was called into the body shop today because they didn't know what they were doing, and they're like, we need someone that does. So.
Yeah. To your point on that subject, the Raptor, the new Bronco Raptor, the clips that actually hold on the fender flares, people have had a hard time actually coming up with a part number, because Ford doesn't have it in their catalog. Even when you do find the part number, it's about a $7 or $8 clip each, and there's about 17 per corner.
Ooh.
You can do the math on that. If you take off one fender flare, and all the clips break when you take it off, you take off one fender flare and you just cost yourself about $130 in clips. And so that's a product that actually is, right now we're having the mold made. We're re-engineering that clip to be a stronger clip, so it shouldn't break when you take off the flare, but also it'll be like a third of the cost.
Nice.
So,
nice.
When you guys have a Raptor now too, right?
Yep.
What's your impressions of that versus the normal Bronco?
Haven't put enough miles on it. Engineering
won't let you touch it?
Something like that, actually. We took off the fender flare and we couldn't put it back on because the clips were all broken.
Oops.
That's half true, but no, I just haven't put enough miles on it. We've been really busy trying to set up this powder coating line, and kind of consumed a lot of my time. Initial thoughts, I like it a lot. It's a lot more powerful. It sounds much better, which I like. And the suspension, of course, is great. I will say the suspension is not as good as our Raptor pickup, though.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
I miss our Raptor F-150.
I love the F-150 Raptor.
Those things are
so-
beasts.
Are you getting
Are
you getting feedback with the Raptor though of they're looking for different things than maybe normal Bronco guy wants?
Yeah, so we developed a new modular front bumper winch mount for that. That's different than the one for the regular Bronco, just because the customers are looking for something a little different. They want to put different, a little bit larger winch on. They want to be able to have lighting options along with the winch bar. Some things that those customers are a little more refined, I would say.
Sure. Well, they're spending a lot more money.
They're spending a lot, and they're also prepared to spend more money on the aftermarket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say most of my customers had Bronco parts before their actual Bronco. And they know what they're going to spend. They already have a budget set aside. Like they have their actual Bronco vehicle budget, and then now they have the aftermarket of all the stuff I have to get.
Well, that's a great segue, Allie, because when you guys had to rush to get one, obviously you had a one on order, but you had to rush to get them because you got to develop parts. Normally, the way the auto manufacturers released is they just release vehicles and people want to start buying things. Did the trickle effect of Broncos getting out there kind of benefit you guys to like be able to slowly attack it versus like just all of a sudden having a dozen parts out?
Yeah, absolutely. The soft top,
the one plus of that.
it's good because like when we were looking at numbers, I think it was in February of last year, there had been, I don't know, there were like maybe 180,000 Broncos that were still open, open orders that had not been filled, and they had only filled maybe 30,000 or so orders. And we were looking at our numbers and kind of what we had been selling, and we realized very quickly, like, our numbers are way off, because once people start getting them, we're going to have to, our production is going to have to step it up, and we're really going to have to start getting a lot more of this product through our production department. It definitely helped us a lot that it kind of trickled out slowly. It also helped us spend some time developing parts, because we weren't having to worry about just keeping up with, the orders. And that's really what a lot of the eyeline stuff is about also, is we can sell some parts, and kind of fill some of these orders, and customers will start to learn what we're about, the kind of company we are, the support we give, while we're in the background working on all these things that we plan on releasing. We're working on today that the customers may not see us release for another year. So a lot of stuff in the works that
and they get a taste for your customer service then too.
Well, and that being said, keep in mind, JJ, Dave is all about a Ranger Raptor. So, oh, nope, that's not the question. Hold on.
You messed
Wrong
that up.
one. Here
You
it is.
messed it up.
Here it is. Here we go. Dave wants Ranger Raptor parts. So
keeping
it on your radar.
Is that exciting? Is the little truck exciting for you guys to jump into, or are you just like, nah, we'll deal with Bronco?
I mean, I'd go out and buy a Ranger in a heartbeat. I had a Maverick when I was in Michigan last as a rental, and if I could have gotten the Maverick I wanted at the time, I would have. I think actually Allie and I talked a little bit about that, but no, it's on our radar for sure. I think the Ranger's a little more exciting to me than the Maverick is. After driving the Maverick, I couldn't get over the stupid knob.
Everyone says that.
That's the one thing I just could not get. I couldn't get past it. I was like, in a parking lot, I'm like, oh, reverse, forward, backward. Like couldn't. It was kind of
because it kind of has to do with Bronco. I honestly think and Tim can probably agree to this, I think trying to get a Maverick is worse than trying to get a Bronco.
Wow.
Hands
That's
down.
crazy.
So they had the order banks open for like 4 days only. And like all of our hybrids, they're trickling out, but definitely not compared to what they should have been. But the demand for this car, I think, and Tim's saying yes. I think for every phone call we get into the dealership, if we had 100, at least 70 of them are asking for Mavericks.
That's crazy.
It's insane. Like, I never thought this little truck would take off, and I'll give it to them. It for the price point, it's a nice vehicle. It's a nice truck. But remember, it is under 40K. I think you're in the mid 30s when everything is said and done. So there's a couple of things like I've kind of nitpick about, but again, for the price point and like everything that you're getting, it's a decent little truck, and I'm surprised of how crazy people are going for these things. Ford has a QR code you actually scan for accessory ideas.
Wow.
Well,
Like,
and there's
and all parts of the car.
And especially for guys like IAG, there's tunable parts. That there's a whole segment of little tuner to that thing that I would have never thought would have happened.
Yep.
I saw one hauling a fridge a couple weeks ago, and I really struggled to get a picture of it that was not blurry.
The refrigerator was bigger than
It's true.
the Maverick.
It's true story.
I'm actually taller than the Maverick, and I'm 5'2", so.
TJ Miller says, what about a rear roll bar brace for the non-Raptor guys? And there's a couple people that said same for me.
Yeah, that's in the works. We have some prototypes already developed, and really a lot of that kind of stuff is going to have to roll out slowly until we have this powder coating line set up.
Sure.
We haven't even announced this publicly yet, but we actually bought another building that's about 20 minutes from our main manufacturing plant, just to house our powder coating and inventory of all of the I-line parts, because we were running out of our main building.
Nice.
So we settled on that building back in early February, and the powder coating line itself is actually just being made right now. So it's about 16 weeks before it ships to us, and then we probably have another 6 weeks of installing it. So, middle of June or July, you're going to start seeing us roll a lot of parts out that we've had our finger on the end of the hose.
Yeah.
Not ready to sell yet, because we can barely keep up with the steps right now.
Well, is there some surprises that we might see at Supercell East?
You'll see some prototypes at Supercell East for sure.
Oh, nice.
I know,
be there.
I was kind of leading into that. I'm like, so what kind of products can we expect at Supercell? Because there's like 20 questions asking what they can buy at Supercell.
And you guys last year had a great selection of people. You can go to Supercell and go to IAG's booth and buy things.
Yes.
You guys knocked it out of the park for that.
And installed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
did install my steps.
Yeah, did I install your steps, or did
you did? You did.
You'll see me get on the ground and get dirty. I actually like doing that stuff because I don't get
nice.
To days. So, but yeah, no, we'll have most of the popular I-line parts at Supercell, like the tub protectors and things like grab handles and obviously steps and floor sill protectors or door sill protectors. Floor mats, all that kind of stuff we'll have. And then you'll also see on our trucks, you'll see some prototype parts that we're not ready to sell yet, but we're looking for feedback. We want people to actually kind of play with it, look at it, and give us feedback on things that we're working on, just to make sure that before we actually kind of let our finger off the end of the hose and start production, that the community actually likes what we're getting ready to release.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
I know Kelly's itching for the seat, the Velcro seat back stuff. I think you guys offer
150% get it, dude. I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah, that's one of our favorite products.
It's so easy with Maya's hair to just like clean my Bronco now. I'm like the biggest advocate for it. I think I show at least 2 or 3 customers a week, if not more, just the back seat covers.
Yeah, I personally have no carpet in my vehicle for a reason. But yet somehow I don't know
why Ford did that. I really don't.
That one spot I have carpet.
Yeah, you buy the marine grade vinyl just so that you don't have any carpet, and then they forgot to do anything about the back of the seats. It's kind of
100%. Our dog has not been in our car yet because I will not have 80,000 hairs out of nowhere in it.
Yep.
Plus, he doesn't like carpet.
Again, that's kind of where that product came from. I have a little dog, that 35-pound dog that goes with me to work every day, and she sits on the back seat, and so it got to the point where all of her little short hairs were getting stuck into the seat. So I was like, I'm going to put the seat down, and I'll let her I'll put her bed back there, and she can kind of And then I started getting them in the carpet, and I'm like, oh man, I got something.
And they never come out.
There's no winning.
TJ Miller said, would you guys ever consider a bed liner option such as or like Line-X for stuff like your steps?
It's heavy and it's very expensive. I have a couple of sets of steps at the shop that we tested that way, and it would probably increase the retail price of the steps by about $100 a pair.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't think the market will justify it.
Yeah.
You know, I think, you know, once we have this powder coating line set up and we're actually like parts are flowing through at a much better rate, you know, we may consider offering options like that. And if somebody wants to spend the extra $100 on it, you know, we'll have it available, but not until we get caught up.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Andy Ackerman, thank you for the super chat. Says, JJ, Dave asked me to hit you with a hard question. If 2 + 2 equals banana, what is the circumference of pencil?
What?
Welcome to Andy.
Yeah, this is
Andy's a little wild.
Andy's a little crazy.
But I had to put it in there. You know, we couldn't miss it.
Let's see. Technical disaster. Is there any IAG discount codes for All Terrain Nation before I go on a shopping spree? No, I don't. We don't operate that way. We do have some of their stuff linked to on our Amazon stuff we've bought. That and nothing against IAG. If we've bought it, we feel comfortable putting it on our website to say, hey, we recommend this. But I don't work that way. I'm not here to make money off of them particularly. I'm here to talk to them. So I do appreciate the thought, though.
Well, and that's one of the biggest things too is we kind of hit on it earlier. A lot of these other aftermarket companies are like copying and doing some stuff. Like once you actually meet the IAG team, you will see like their service that they provide. Any question you guys have, you're not going to get that on some of these cheaper parts and things like that. And it's definitely cheaper quality. I've already seen some of the stuff, and it's just not as good.
Hey, quality and customer service. I will pay extra for good
100%.
customer service.
100%.
Even if I don't even ever have to call or anything, to know that I have the support there if I do need to call makes all the difference in the world for me.
Bronco and Mustang.
Hold on before.
Oh, sorry.
Nikki Brewer says, do you make a cover for the armrest? And that was actually another person asked that question as well. Yes. Anything for the armrest?
We do. We actually have 3 different versions of armrest covers. We have let me just go back to my little cheat sheet here. Give me just a second. I know we have at least a TPE version that's kind of a little more durable. And then we have a vinyl version and a leather version, essentially. So a few different materials depending on what you're using it for. And if you actually call in or go through our chat on our website or through Facebook, you can actually talk to the CSR reps there, and they'll kind of get you pointed in the right direction of which one of those 3 is best for your particular needs.
Nice.
Nikki, there's another thing on the list.
Yeah. She's adding to her list. A lot of our viewers, as you know, you experienced with your builds, a lot of our viewers have garage full of products, but no Bronco to put it on yet because they're still waiting. So a lot of folks are saying, I have all these products from IAG and everything that I'm waiting to put on. So
this was Valerie's comment. Hubby dropped a few bucks for IAG goodie steps, hand straps, rear door table, hood struts, door seal guards, and I'm sure future things coming soon.
We obviously appreciate everybody's support and patronage.
So this is a tough one because I have no idea, and it's probably people want to know. Are IAG parts coming from China now?
Some are and some are not. So the easiest way to tell that, tell what's imported and what's not imported is by the name of the actual product itself. We're full disclosure. We don't have anything to hide. If something's being imported from outside this country, it actually has the name I-line for import line. And if it's something that is just called IAG, like, you know, Rockvale steps or IAG soft strut easy lift kit or anything like that, that's something that we actually make inside of our 4 walls.
Your website's really clear about it too. You have a nice little, you can choose IAG Performance or IAG I-line, and there's certain things like these little the tub rail protectors and stuff. There's no way you can. I hate to say that you could build those affordably in America right now. That's just that.
There's nothing wrong with it, with having the stuff made in China. Again, if you're holding them to a standard, there's good stuff and bad stuff that comes out of China. There's a large percentage of parts that are on the Bronco factory that come from China.
Of course. Yeah.
Mhm.
A big chunk of the truck
Yeah.
comes from China. So key components come from China.
Yep.
Well, but the key there is, folks, even if it is something that they're importing, they have vetted it to know that it is a product that they would put on their own vehicles. So they're not going to sell you a product that they don't believe in and they don't trust. So just kind of keep that in mind. Yeah, I know that we've kind of talked about those things where we support companies that are making their products, and this is a true example of where we would totally buy something from the eyeline, because I trust that IAG has vetted that product to be willing to sell it on their website.
Yeah, because you guys got your tabletop, or what is it? Yeah, the tabletop no drill. That's eyeline product. You guys are, you're undercutting everybody on that, because a lot of these guys are doing it from their shops, doing it here in America. It's a cool thing, but there's certain things that people don't want to pay, unfortunately, a lot of money for. And this would be one of those accessories to me that, Tuffy, who makes parts for Ford, all that stuff's made in China, and they're still more expensive than what you guys are offering this product for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, something else I will say is that some of the manufacturers we deal with over there, they'll send us a product, and frankly, it's just not up to snuff. And there is no, like, I've rejected, we've actually had 9 different tailgate table designs since releasing the first tailgate table, and we've rejected, pretty much all but 2. So 7 of the 2 just didn't meet our standards, and there was no way to fix them. And even those 2, there was a list of things that we kind of had to have fixed before we were willing to sell it. So, just because it's made over there doesn't mean it's not good. You're dealing with U.S. support, so if you have a problem with it, you're calling us. We're the ones sending out parts to replace, anything that's wrong. We're the ones that are helping you through the install. But we won't sell it if it's not good. I mean, that's plain and simple. We're behind the market. For instance, I'll give you another example. You'll see some of our competitors selling things like taillights and some headlights, and those things come from the same manufacturers that we're having make other things right now. And I've had the samples, and they are awful. I mean, they are awful. And the means that they expect you to install them, the customer to install them, how the customer has to wire them into the truck, and some of the things like the heat sinks that are built onto the part are just plain unsafe. And
wow.
So we won't sell it. I don't care how much money there is to be made or how many sets of taillights we can sell. If it's going to cause us problems or cause our customers problems, it's not worth selling.
And there's nothing like having to wait so long for the Bronco and then you burn it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think your insurance company might be a little questionable too if you've added aftermarket and something causes that. So something to think about too from that perspective. Make sure you're getting a quality product.
Well, there's one product that you have in your eyeline that I'm really interested in, and I have a feeling we might pick these up at Supercell, but that is the tube doors. Now, there was a bunch of companies that came out that rushed to get tube doors out because they are a popular item in the Jeep community. I personally, I don't like running them, but if my daughter's in the back of the vehicle, you definitely can tell when we don't have them on because she's sitting in the middle of middle of the Bronco, and when we put them on, she feels a little more secure. How did you guys look at tube doors? Since it's eyeline, we do know these are coming from overseas, but how did you approach this? Because y'all's look different, but I like the Molly look to them. They look well thought out.
I actually looked at Allie's Bronco when it was at Supercell in Wisconsin, and I think she had one of the first sets I had seen, at least actually on a truck. And I spent a fair amount of time kind of looking at them, looking at how they adjust, looking at kind of like the features that they offered, and I felt like there was still a hole in the market there. There was an opportunity to make a door that was a little bit more modular and flexible. So if somebody wanted, a certain look, they could have it, or if they wanted a different, they could have it. And then of course, just like with the steps, we tried to integrate, some custom features like being able to put different color plates on the doors, just like on the steps. So we were really just looking for something that was going to, sort of be a little more flexible than what the factory offered, and a little bit more aesthetically pleasing than some of the other domestic offerings right now. And
Yeah.
it's not going to be for everybody, but I like it, and I think that it's a pretty cool product that you can have the mully panel off or take the mully panel off. Take the mully panel off or leave it on. You can change out the plate for different colors. The install and adjustment is super simple. They don't rattle at all. I mean, we've actually had 3 different other companies' doors in our possession from customers that have come in, and I think these really knocked it out of the park. They did a good job on these.
I'm so
Because you guys,
excited.
these are just, I'm sorry, these just came out, right? So spring is coming. So I'm sure you're still waiting to hear for more customer feedback on them.
Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead,
Yep.
Allie. I'm
sorry.
No, I'm just excited to see these at Supercell.
Yeah, me too. I'm super excited.
My wallet is not excited to see these are Supercell. We'll say that. What do you got, Kelly? And once again, thank you, JJ, for being on here. I know our audience really likes this.
Oh, someone just asked, is there a 2-door version coming for the tube doors?
Yes, actually, on 2-door, we have a number of 2-door products that are actually in the works. The first stuff actually hit our dock about a week ago. So like the sill protectors for 2-door have hit our docks. We haven't actually even photographed them yet. We haven't put them on our site yet.
Oh, nice.
The tub rail protectors are coming. We have tube doors coming. We actually have some other really cool stuff, like buying the factory rock rails is pretty difficult from Ford. They don't always have them, and they're fairly expensive. So we have an aftermarket option that's a reproduction, basically, the factory rock rail. Those are coming for 2-door and for 4-door.
Nice.
And they're a true rock rail?
And they're a true rock rail, yeah.
Okay. Nice.
502 Bourbon Crew says, I need some kind of replacement screen version for the factory soft top rear window for camping, if you can invent that.
Okay.
So something to think about.
Yeah, that's something to think about. We do have some camping stuff coming too. Actually, that's coming.
Nice.
That's coming. I'm actually pretty excited for that stuff. That's coming later this month.
Oh, here we go.
I'm definitely, Allie, I'm going to send you a sample of something. I might actually even have one at the shop that I can send you to check out.
Nice.
Oh, I'm excited.
Stephen Rapp says, is
I'm
it
ready
true
for
that you...
camping.
Oh, Allie, I keep talking over you. I'm not as bad as Dave, though.
Yeah, Dave. No, I just said I'm excited for camping. It's like all I do during the summer, so.
We can definitely tell we're in different places in our lives. We're going to camper kind of campers, or just let's just stay.
I'm looking to buy a small travel trailer this year, so my days of actually like dirt camping are done.
Stephen Rapp says, is it true that you can't get steps if you have the mud flaps, etc., or other parts or mods? And how long does it take to install the rear table?
To answer the first part of the question, you absolutely can have steps and mud flaps together. Our flaps work with not only the factory steps that come on like the Outer Banks. They work with the rock rails. They work with Sasquatch package, non-Sasquatch package, and the steps work with with obviously the rock rails that come on the Black Diamond or the Badlands, or that can be bought from Ford. And you can absolutely have both. That's not a problem. The second part on the install on the table, I would say it takes, if you're doing it in your garage, you've never done it before, you're inexperienced, an hour max. It really doesn't take that long. That's
awesome.
Yeah, so I've got the steps up here. You can see they're seem to work perfectly fine with the running boards.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
Oh, and they're branded. That's nice.
Yeah, and like I said, you'll find that our mud flaps are actually a lot more flexible than the other offerings that are out there that look similar.
What a thing that's like, when Ford brought those out, you're like, who wants to pay $500 for mud flaps? I know why. It's all about insurance. Obviously aftermarket does things cheaper because they need you guys to buy it. But if Ford's the only reason for them to offer any of this stuff is if insurance is paying for it, somebody needs to replace it. So just think about that, guys. Go with these.
I mean, that's the thing though. Working at a dealership, everyone thinks the money is in new cars. No, we're not nearly paid as much as like where their profits come from really used cars, service, and parts. That's where a lot of the dealerships make their money. And I even see some of these prices and I'm just like, that's why I like the aftermarket companies, especially getting to know people and things like that. It's just, I would rather buy one of those than spend $500 to something that I've seen break every once in a while that's not covered under any type of warranty.
Exactly. Andrea, thank you for the super chat. Said, hello, all, just received my IAG dash rail supporting my fellow Marylanders.
And he's putting that in a Raptor. So
awesome.
Yeah, that's true. That's right.
Super jelly.
So he'll be in touch for more Raptor parts for you, I can imagine, from Andrea.
Thanks, son.
Allie, do you have more? Do you have any more questions that you wanted to reach out on?
I was trying to keep up. Everyone's been asking so many questions and just like talking a ton, which has been really fun.
I know.
Oh, did we already answer how much the table holds? Did I miss that part?
No, we did not.
Oh yeah, I can answer that. I've actually sat on the table before, and I'm about 205 pounds myself.
Oh, okay.
we rate it at 150.
Okay.
It'll take every bit of 150 without an issue.
Nice.
Did you answer how long they take to install?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
I don't know.
Jeez, Dave.
No, I was over here doing something. Pardon me.
About an hour if they've never, ever done it before and they're doing it in their own garage.
Sorry.
Jeez, you can tell. You see, he doesn't listen to me at home. He doesn't listen to me here. He doesn't listen to anybody anywhere.
What's your name?
I know.
Oh, here's an idea for you, JJ. Big DW said foldable dog steps.
Foldable dog steps. Okay. I like that. That's a thought.
Ooh, I could see that one.
Wait, this isn't a Honda Element. Come on now.
Would they want that into the back, into the cargo area, or actually on the side?
Ooh, another good question.
I wonder. Okay.
That would be a good one.
Let's see. What are the questions we got going on here? Kelly's got all these starred and
a lot of them are saying, hey.
Oh, sorry.
Talking build dates and stuff like that too. We've talked about a lot.
I know.
Okay, so this one I was looking. So I guess this one. Want to know what's happening with tailgate support? When and how much does it increase the weight capacity I need to store some fuel?
Okay, storing fuel will definitely not be an issue. We've been testing it with 10 gallons, basically 2 5-gallon, jugs. And when the first batch of them should be ready by the end of this month,
Nice.
if not a little, hoping by around the 25th or 27th or so, which I think is a Monday, is when we're planning on releasing that. So they should be soon, very, very soon, and we're excited for that one. One of the things we're working on right now is all the accessories that go with it, because it's great to sell the tailgate support, but we want to be able to have accessories to go with.
The tailgate support one's an odd one to me. I mean, not the need of it, but I see so many companies out there just throw a chunk of metal up there, and it doesn't look. I like stuff personally, and why I'm attracted to some of y'all's parts is they look factory. They look like Ford developed this, and you guys are just selling it for them. I like the fact when things look like they belong, and of course the Raptor, they have a nice version that Ford does extra support for the tailgates, but that's one of those things that I know is needed because we'll eventually go to 37s on ours, but I just haven't seen anything.
We are.
Anyways, that's one of those things that I've noticed that I hope you guys it's not just a big chunk of metal.
It's really not cool. Actually. I'm glad you actually mentioned that. It's not actually really even a support. It's a completely new hinge system. So it actually replaces the factory hinges altogether. You take the factory completely off the truck. And this is a cast aluminum piece, essentially, with stainless pins that replaces the hinges altogether, along with supporting the entire tailgate across the tailgate.
Nice.
Very cool.
Because I'm waiting for, I know Jeep had a problem with their last version, with they were cracking those tailgates. Like people were throwing 40s on the back of the thing, and it wasn't made for it. And I haven't heard too much rumblings with Jeep's new one, but from what you've seen engineering wise, how do you think 35s are going to be okay, never having problems with those tailgates?
I wouldn't say that, because by the time, and that's actually one of the reasons why we've been very careful on the tailgate tables. And I know it sounds silly, but it all kind of ties together. The more weight you put on that gate, the worse that it is for the hinges, the worse that it is for the latch system. When we actually put 30. I'm trying to think. We put 37s on our truck, and then we were testing a few different versions of the tailgate table that we were going to release, and our gate actually started not being able to even shut. Like, it was catching. It was starting to catch the latch, and so we realized, we needed to take some weight off, or we needed to strengthen up the hinge system, and that's kind of where that product even came from.
Oh, cool.
Once again, I like that you guys just didn't do what everybody else is doing. You're doing your own thought. You're putting your own thought and opinions into that part. So that's pretty nice.
We did initially. If you look at our prototypes, we had exactly what everybody else did, and then kind of stepped back and said, you know what? Just because other people do it doesn't mean it's being done right. So let's look at this from a completely objectively and try to think about it from a completely different perspective, and just attack this problem in a different way. And that's where the hinge system came from.
That's awesome.
Says, here is one for the rear camera and tire mount assembly, costs $2,000. Anyone who makes a metal replacement for that one will make a ton, because Ford's one is so expensive.
So actually, I have a prototype at the shop right now, and I'm not sure if we'll actually have that at Supercell. I may bring it just to set on the table, but it actually replaces the rear camera and some of the stuff that's back there. I don't want to reveal too much, but it'll have some options to replace the rear camera. We're still working on the integration side of it, actually making it plug and play. But I may bring a prototype to Supercell.
How has Ford been with you guys? Have you had any dealings with them? I don't mean that. I don't mean that in you're trampling on our. Have they reached out to you guys about any aftermarket parts and been like, "Hey, we're interested. That's a great idea." I mean, do they reach out at all to you guys and like what you're doing?
We did actually. We talked to them. We were approached about the soft top lift system, and plain and simple, it. I don't think it worked for that. Essentially, they were talking about offering it through their accessory catalog. Don't think that the pricing worked for them, because at the time we had some competitors that were trying to sell that product and undercutting us by a good bit. And they probably had started to talk to them, but then once we had received our patent and, obviously had protection under the patent, all of those sellers went away. So it never really went anywhere. But I wouldn't rule it out. We'll probably pick that ball back up and talk to them at some point. So you may see some of our parts offered through the accessory catalog, but that's the only conversations we've had with them to date.
Of course, I know through Ford Performance, they want to make a chunk too. And that's the unfortunate part for them, is they, they want to charge you a chunk to license their product, and they want you to give up a chunk to them license your product.
We're talking about $120 product. There's just not a lot of meat on the bones there.
Yeah.
We even though we're the only ones that obviously can sell it, because it's patented, we're not trying to kill anybody on it. If you price buying, and I challenge anybody to do this, because we get comments sometimes. Go look at what the price is of a Suspa, which is a German-made gas strut. Try to buy 2 gas struts, and try to buy 2 bungee cords, and then think about having to make all the bracketry and hardware and all the other stuff that comes with it. You would add up to double the price of what we sell that product for. We're not making a lot of money on that product, but it's an opportunity for us to connect with customers and kind of show people what our engineering prowess is about.
Nice. Well, we've had you on for a long time tonight, JJ. So I'm gonna close it up with one last question, unless Allie has anything. What's coming out that we want to be on the lookout for, that you can talk about for our listeners to kind of pay attention, even if it's something that you've mentioned tonight, so we can kind of put that lasting idea in our
so we can start saving, is what she's trying
mind.
to say.
Yeah, so they can start saving.
How many hundreds do we need to save, basically?
I'll mention 3 things, if it's okay. If it's okay to kind of.
Of course.
And a couple of them we've already talked about. The alternator setup, basically, that will retrofit onto a factory alternator to seal it so that it isn't kind of going kaput when you go through deep water. That's one. The hinge system on the rear tailgate is the other, which I think is pretty innovative and going to be necessary for a lot of folks. And the third is if you're familiar with our soft top release system, we're actually, or not release system, rather our easy lift system, we're working on a release that's a single point. So you actually be able to just pull on a little loop, and that'll actually release both of the hooks that are back there.
Oh, nice.
Reach over and grab one and grab the other. And
that is a pain in the butt, man.
This will just be a single point release in the middle. You just pull down on it and boom, top.
I looked goofy yesterday. I was trying to get something out the back of ours soft top, and I've got a frozen shoulder right now, so my arm's not working great. And I'm trying to stretch out and push both of these buttons, and I'm sure the neighbors had a good laugh because I look like they're doing it.
Is it on the Ring camera? I'm gonna go look.
It might be.
I'm gonna go check it out.
It might be. Yeah. So, a couple more questions, or what were you doing?
Wait, that was one thing.
Yeah. Sorry.
What was one thing?
He gave us three things. Wait, the one hitch, the alternator. What was the third thing?
The
latch.
Pin
system.
The
latch. Never mind.
Yeah.
Release and the alternator.
Yeah, Allie.
Wow, folks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait.
Guys, obviously, I don't have to tell you too much. Go over to iagperformance.com. They've got the off-road section over there. I'm assuming IAG off-road works just as well for a link to their site. You guys have, like I said, I like the fact that your stuff looks like it belongs. It's priced competitively. It seems to, when you guys release something, we've talked about it, where you had an issue with something and you guys just fix it. You didn't ask, you weren't asked to fix this. You guys seen a problem of your own stuff, sent out stuff. I think we got our strut, and the fix for it was like a couple days later, it seemed like.
Yeah,
so
it was so quick.
Yeah, it was amazing to deal with you guys. Clearly at Supercell, that I'm looking at $1,000 or more with you already. She's shaking her head yes. So yes, I got to go ahead.
Wait, what?
So Supercell is going to kick off next month, guys. If you're in the area, I'm telling you, just for vendors like IAG, there, come see the stuff. You can put your hands on it, which is in our internet world means a lot. I like to touch stuff. I want to make sure that if I'm spending thousands of dollars for especially tube doors that I want to touch,
and you can get it installed.
Oh, will they install tube doors?
That's what he said. David Ray, I can't even with you.
Yes, if you guys need your tube doors installed, I'm sure they will do that for you.
I'm done.
JJ, I appreciate your time. Allie, thank you for reaching out to JJ on this one.
Thank you
JJ, we're going to definitely talk to you at Supercell, man. I can't wait to see your booth, and I'm expecting Supercell this year to be. Do what?
How many days until Supercell?
Oh, 42 days.
To say it.
Oh, sorry.
What do we do?
Oh, that's cool.
So excited.
42 days. But come to Supercell, just see the vendors and stuff. JJ, I expect this year to be bigger than last year.
Guys, they honestly, I think everyone on your team is amazing. They've been so nice the last year.
Yeah, something I'll say is, even if we're not just about selling, I think we had a big sign out there last year that we really just want to hear from customers about what challenges they're dealing with. Even if you don't intend on buying anything at all, please just come by, say hello, let me shake your hand, and at least kind of hear what challenges you've had with your Bronco, or parts, products or parts or ideas that you might have to fix a pain point that you're dealing with.
Yes. No, I got to put this up real quick because sorry.
You don't know how to do anything tonight, do you?
Sorry. It's been a long week and it's only Monday, man.
That's the thing. I'm gonna have to hurry up and sell this house so I have more money for parts.
What on earth are you sharing over there?
Not that.
Thank you.
I know.
Terrible screenshot.
I know. Well, there it is. It's a different window. It wouldn't pop up.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So here it is. So that was part of their booth last year that you can see behind me and Kelly there. I'm expecting lots of fun things there. Once again, I'm assuming you're bringing your Broncos like you did last year.
Yep. Yeah, we'll bring our Broncos. Might bring our Raptor also.
Ooh. Nice. So, I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of cool Raptors this year there. So I'm excited to see that. JJ, we appreciate this, man. We really do. Definitely want to reach out to you there. And guys, if you have any questions, go to their website. I'm sure there's a way to communicate that way. There's probably an email address if you have any questions on their products. Go check them out. I put my name behind it because we bought your products and we like what you guys do. So we really appreciate your time, JJ.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir, man. We will talk to you later. Bye.
Thank you.
Quick shameless plug. We're launching a new soon. So
Okay.
all of our products will still be on the iagperformance.com site, but we will be launching the IAG off-road site that'll have a
Nice.
little bit different skin, and we'll only have the off-road parts on it initially. So that
Awesome.
it's a little easier for customers to navigate. So you're not having to sift through Subaru parts to find the Bronco parts.
Well, we might buy a Subaru then too, though.
That's cool. We can talk about some cool stuff. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing it at
Thanks so
JJ.
much.
And we look forward to meeting you again at Bronco Super Cel. So thank you, sir, and have a great rest of your week.
You as well. Thanks again for having me.
Awesome,
Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah.
Thanks, JJ.
There you guys go. That was JJ. That was fun because I like the fact that he's just, hey, I'll answer these questions, man. Like the one that
Always.
some people wouldn't have asked that. The one about the Chinese parts.
Yeah.
A lot of places wouldn't have wanted to ask that because they don't want to. And I like the fact that I was going to ask it, and I knew he was going to. He seems like a quality guy that's going to give us a good answer there.
Mhm.
So
He
I appreciate that.
He doesn't. The thing that I really like about that company is I like the people, and there's no BS with it. Like, they will tell
Yeah.
you exactly how it is, and like, if they need to fix something, they'll fix it. Like, unfortunately, when you powder coat something, it's never going to be 100%. Something's going to happen, but they got behind it and they fixed it. They fixed the hood struts. They did little things here and there, no questions asked. Where you're not going to find a lot of companies that do that. They are going to be like, oh no, well, it's not covered under warranty.
You know what else isn't covered under warranty?
Why?
Allie, why do you stick around for this?
I'm so confused.
Why do you stick around? Like, I appreciate you sharing in the misery with me, and thankfully you only have to do it once a week.
Wow.
I feel like I'm making up for it since I missed last week because I was working.
Man.
I think we're both making up for it since we missed last
Guys,
week.
if you guys would smash the like button for me, we've had over 100 people in this stream and could use a little bit of love
And
there.
there was
on the old
94
like button.
votes, but not 94 likes, so go like it.
Oh, and I gotta in this. I've past 2 weeks. I forgot to end this poll.
Oh
So
my
first off,
Lord.
Kelly, what do we got?
So question is, which would you pick as your first mod? Tube doors, steps, tailgate table, or interior
Ooh.
lights?
Tube doors or steps? I'm team tube door.
I'm kind of there too with that. Out of the options that we offered, I'm that. But the winner is
Tube
kind
door or
of
steps?
it kind of surprises me on that one. So what do we got, Kelly?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Maybe for steps may very well
It's
be
a daily need. Yeah.
Well, for one, it's a daily need. For two, it might very well be people that are looking for rock rails and things like that too. Because I probably would have gone with steps because I was thinking rock rails would be my first modification.
You know who does really good rock rails?
White
Knuckle Off-Road. Hey, and Allie, am I still number one?
Still number one.
Yes.
Probably number one in a different way too.
Which there's some news coming. I'm middle finger.
He's like number one, number one.
There's going to be some Raptor or Ranger news coming up this Saturday.
Ooh,
So
Marine Vet told me to smack you.
if you guys like mid-sized trucks, come see me Saturday mornings. We talk exclusively mid-sized trucks there on a live stream.
I'll be
what-
showing my
what-
house on Saturday, so
You're selling your house?
I'm
Or it's
showing
for-
my house.
oh,
It's
showing,
an open
okay.
house, so I'll be hiding in my car for like 3 hours with my dog and my cat.
Oh, I was gonna say go to Hollyoaks, but I don't think your cat would like Hollyoaks.
Might.
I mean, he's such a dick. I wouldn't care.
Until he comes up and scratches you in the head
I
because you
have a
went too
cage. Wait, is
No.
it in here? See, like, here's the thing. Now I'm like half packed. I don't know where anything in my house is. It's stressing me out. I'm gonna have strangers here tomorrow. Oh, everything's fine.
It'll
Hey.
be fine. Everything's fine. Everything's
Hey.
fine.
You
Everything's
did,
fine.
and you did this to yourself too.
Yes.
I did. I made a bullcrap offer, and now look what happened.
You didn't even plan for it. Like it wasn't a
didn't.
plan. It was
If-
just
If they
happened
don't know,
overnight.
Allie's buying a house and she's having to put her house up for sale. So
So
a
I
lot of
will
stress
have
in
a
it.
new office soon, and yes, it will still be plastered with Bronco. I've already made that clear to my family. They're like,
You know,
"Are
if
you
you
gonna
take
do
a
like?"
picture of if you get where your camera is right now, take a picture and then you can green screen that and it looks like you've never left.
Oh, Oh, trust me, we're
Or
leaving.
she could just take a picture and put everything back up the same way that it was now.
That sounds
in
hard.
her new house.
That sounds horrible.
Oh no, we're doing all new. We're doing like a whole Bronco wall. It's gonna be great.
Oh, nice.
Can't wait to see it.
I bet.
Good time.
Guys, bring your questions or comments. We got a little bit of news. I know I reached out to Allie a little bit today to talk about order banks. Still nothing.
I
nothing.
didn't do intros. We got distracted.
Sorry.
Oh
Go ahead.
yeah.
Hello,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it at that. How about that?
No, you
geez.
start some people. We got our normals. You got to say hi to.
You got to say, all right, so we're going to do this real quick and then because I know Allie's tired too. So Bim Joker is in the house. Michael Nice says, torture of waiting for the show to start. That was before the show actually started. It's like being a kid unwrapping Christmas presents.
And
Nikki,
I keep my clothes on.
what does that have to do with unwrapping Christmas presents? Oh my gosh. Nikki Brewer says, it's finally Monday.
What is
Jessica Dunn
happening?
says, best way to jumpstart the week right here.
Are we jumper cables? Is that what she's calling us? The jumper cables?
Jeffrey Babb says, what's going on? ATN just got my IAG interior lights Friday, waiting for some milder weather to install them.
Nice.
502 Bourbon Crew said, hey, now power's back after 77 hours.
Oh,
3
that's
days of
tough.
camping at home is no fun.
That's tough, man.
Let's see. Nelizar says, just stumbled onto the channel. Let's go. Welcome in. Marine Vet in the house. Jeff Dizer said, just got my taxes done. Now let's get that Bronco ordered and start the build. Yeah.
About
Be
that.
ready. Ken Mayer says, ready to rumble. Bronco 78 in the house. Michael Cooper. Honest Smith saying, happy Monday from
Woo!
Kentucky. Positivity wins in the house.
She has a build date. Or,
Yeah.
sorry,
She
I-
also has a 392 that she bought 2 weeks ago.
What?
Or 4 weeks ago. And said she's going to try to keep both. Yeah.
Yes.
So that is in
God
the
bless
chat.
you.
Pavement ends now in the house. David Zarko, all the way from Maryland. Nurse AJ saying, like and let's smash and subscribe,
And
folks.
Nurse AJ had to. Her plans got screwed up for Supercell. She's not going to get to come.
No, what?
She put it in there.
Oh,
Well, she's a nurse, so I can
I
only
know.
imagine.
that's because she's an
requirements.
overachiever and has 2 jobs now.
Wow.
Just saying.
Wow.
Just saying.
We
Just
need to send her a bottle of wine.
Right. TN Code Monkey checking in from Chicago or Chattanooga. Valley Dude 5000. Johnny's Car Care and Reviews coming in. Johnny Rapp saying, hey guys, number one, number 2 here. What's our status? Driven Wild Outdoors, God's Country Overland. Tim Bart's checking in this evening. Richard Ortega. Bronco Black Diamond SAS production tomorrow, 3/7. Congratulations. Let's see. Almost there, folks. Almost there. Stephen Rapp, thank you for the super chat. Says number 2 is not as good as number 1, but you gotta like him. I don't know if you gotta like him.
Hey, trust me, I've already, when I've heard that there's a potential for Ranger order banks opening up, I've already bugged the piss out of Allie, and she's basically told me to shut up. Don't worry about it right now.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I've literally, I'm like, how does Brighton Ford do business? Brighton Ford, love you guys, by the way. I'm like, how does this work? And she's just like, look, dude, just hush, stop it.
Pretty much. Jonathan Falls in
Tell
the
you what
house.
you gotta know.
Bird Dog Overland checking in saying Allie's hair looks great tonight.
Well, there you go, Allie.
Thanks.
Bob Masters checking in. Randall Russell, thank you for the super
Oh, yes,
chat.
thank
Says
you.
I'm in with a 41023 build date. Congratulations.
Nice, love it. That's RGR. I love that name.
Yeah, so there's the so stoked finally got my build date of 410 and the VIN on Friday.
You know what might be a little
I need to
disappointing?
check my
Positive.
build dates.
You know what might be a little disappointing though for positivity when she starts the Bronco. Versus
Yeah, and
the
it doesn't
392.
rumble like the 392.
It's a way better drive. Way better drive.
TN Code Monkey says I saw the lights first at Supercell East from IAG.
That's where we saw.
Yeah,
it.
they've been out, they've been testing those for a while.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
know. Tattoo Matt got to be an early tester on them too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Andy Ackerman, thank you for the super chat. Sorry I'm late. I really left it all at the Super Bowl. I'll send pics later, Dave. And let's see. Jeffrey Babb checking in tonight. John Burnett says got a build date of April 17th. Congratulations.
That's a tax day build. Well, not exactly, but a tax week build.
Close.
Let's see.
It might be.
Hold on. I'm almost there.
I'm not rushing you. Breathe.
I know.
Hey, you guys won't believe what I did a building price of today. It's going to shock you. You'll see it in a couple days. I may have a new love.
Adam Weber said, hey guys, Dave and Kelly, Allie, IAG. I have the IAG steps added to my two-door Badlands.
Nice.
And Positivity Win says, I refused to compromise on my build and didn't expect it to get scheduled. Then went out and bought a Rubicon 392 and 3 weeks later got my build date.
The off-road gods have a sense of humor.
Yes, they do. They sure do.
I hope they love that.
And I'm sure I missed someone, so forgive me if I missed you. And Stephen Rapp, I know that you sent us a super chat. I'm so sorry we missed it. I think you were asking.
Is that for the Bronco Nation deal?
No, I think that was for IAG. Maybe was that the question for IAG? Give us a little more information about the Little Arrow Resort. If it was for JJ, I'm so sorry, but thank you for the super chat. We appreciate it.
Did y'all see how fast the Bronco Nation's reservations for their tents and stuff went?
Yeah, quick.
Yeah.
I was talking to Jordan the night before. I'm like, how fast? And he goes, it's going to be minutes. And I had people like messaging me trying to get them. I'm like, I unfortunately told you it was going to go fast. I'm like,
yeah.
Links expired for Discord.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I got your one super chat, Steven. And then I was late on the $9.99. Let me see. If we don't like put them up there, they run away from us right away.
We'll try this link. We'll try this Discord link. See if this one works. Allie, we bought a third brake light. We bought the little round LED brake lights. You have any interest in that kind of stuff, or you just like, that's down the road?
That stuff to me is kind of down the road. I don't know. Like when I see I guess I would have to like see it in person, because then like when I see something I really like and have to have it, like, okay, so prime example for the tube doors.
Little arrows that came from Townsend.
Our Ford rep, or our Ford accessories rep, had my name on a set. And he's like, I need you to put your name in on a pre-order. And I kept asking my part guys, and of course, pre-orders, they're not used to so many pre-orders because we've never really had to do this before. And he's like, no, like they're not open yet. I'm like, call them, or I'm going to get these to this store and kind of cut you out of it. Like I'm going above your head at this. And I had them there that day because they knew I was going to Supercell, Wisconsin, and they wanted the pictures of them. So I did have one of the first few sets that were actually available to customers. Because I was bugging the crap out of them. But like as soon as I see something I want, like I'm going to get it. I'm going to figure it out.
Remember that guys in the chat, like, watch out. That was a single girl. You don't stand a chance.
Bronco parts are different.
I'm playing.
Oh gosh, Dave.
She has a puppy. She doesn't need you. She has a puppy.
My dog's cooler anyway.
That's right. And she likes snow.
I have not heard of Little Arrow Cabins or Resort. Have you, Allie, in Townsend?
I have not.
Is it one of those that is on the Bronco or the Bronco Driver website for recommendations?
Some of the, I will say, really investigate your Airbnbs.
And don't just take it at face value.
Ours last year felt like an 80s porn site, is what it felt like.
Oh my gosh, did you really just say that?
I did. I really did, because it felt like creepily 80s weird. Like, it's
true story. Like the pool table was nasty.
I felt like hepatitis was just hanging everywhere. Like it was gross.
Yeah, we literally slept. In honestly, hindsight, we should travel with our own sheets.
Yes.
But then again, I don't want to bring home anything that I might find in the cabin either. So there's that.
Yeah.
No.
Let's see if it's one of those on area.
Oh, so Kelly's looking this up for you guys. Well, look at people making it into the old Discord. I like the stripes on that. I like those triangle lights, those ditch lights. I kind of like those, Seth. Mark says, "Welcome to the Nut House" over there in Discord. I have to do this. I haven't done this a lot in a long time. We have memberships on the channel. You guys know I hate selling myself, but unfortunately, it's the thing we have to do. If you guys would be interested in any kind of support, we have 2 levels. It doesn't matter which level you do; you get the same smiling faces either way. We have one for $5, and then we have one for I think it's $9.95 that we call the Travel Fund. The idea is just to help us. We have more car shows coming up we need to do go to and cover, and it just helps offset the cost. We also have a Patreon. If you don't like dealing with Google, you can go to Patreon that way and help support us. And one of the biggest ways you can help support us is by smashing the like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribing. That really, believe it or not, the more subscribers we have, the more access we get to all the fun vehicles, not just Broncos, but anything you'd be interested in hearing me and Kelly talk crazily about. So,
and if you're looking for merch, we do have merch on our website. There's 2 different options there. If you look at our website, there is Kelly's Picks on the website, and that is stuff that we have in our hands that I will ship directly from our house. And then if you go to the gear shop, then that is actually through Teespring, which will actually shop from or go from there.
Yes,
so.
and I'll bring this. I know Kelly had something else up here, but I want to bring this up real quick just so you guys can see our website. So as you can see up here, a little hard to see here. Here's the gear shop. Just like Kelly said, this takes you to Teespring, which we have shirts and stuff, any kind of gear. We will have a little bit of this stuff at Supercell, not a ton. I've said it last week. Gear's expensive to buy. This is a barely make pennies operation as is, so it's hard to really invest into this stuff. But we have all kinds of stuff. Why is it not sharing? Because it went to a different. Because it went to a different.
Because you're only sharing the home screen.
Yeah. But let's see. We have our build. This is our build that we have on there. All the stuff we've done to it.
Update our mileage.
I do need to update mileage,
like
but
almost
bumpers,
18,000 now.
Diabolical stuff. We put new tires on. There's IAG stuff. And like I said, when JJ was on here, somebody asked about a discount code. I don't play that game. I'm not here. I'm here to talk to people. We're journalists. But we do have, there's links to their Amazon stuff here. So if you want to purchase it that way, we do get a tiny kickback that way. But as far as I'm not ever going to set up discount codes, because
and if we did an install, you'll also see on there as well.
That's right, because here's video links to us doing it. Here's a buy link to any of that stuff. And if you're interested in how we've built our Bronco, you can see it that way. And along with, you can go to the Patreon that way. And here's Kelly's picks. So we have a few things of this stuff left. The stickers, that one's out of stock. As you can see, we offer some vinyl, and we'll have some of that. I was talking to our buddy over Luke with Lifestyle Off-Road today about getting some of that stuff. So we'll have some of that at Supercell. I think we're gonna have some window banners. People ask about that. Which
yeah,
is
and
strange.
A couple people have asked about Velcro patches.
Patches. We don't need no stinking patches.
A lot of those people are probably too young to know that.
Probably. All right.
Allie probably has no idea what that
there is
for.
your there. All right, Kelly's got the show now.
Tag I'm it. So here is Supercell that we've all been talking about. I know we talk about it all the time, but just
everyone's got to go. That's all I'm gonna say.
You've got to go. So that is really why we talk so much about it. And this is going to be the next big event that we're at. That
if you don't go, Allie may not be back on the show.
Oh,
wow. That's how threatening she is with that. She's like,
wow.
You're gonna hurt her feelings if you don't go.
You were just
about it.
You are sad.
I didn't say I was kicking her off the show. Jeez.
Here, this is a big question we're asked a lot. Are dogs welcome? Yes, dogs are welcome, but they do have a leash requirement and also pick up after your animal. So kind of the same idea.
And we did see some dogs that didn't get along last year.
We did.
I'm always amazed at dog owners because we love our pets, but I'm always amazed how they're like, oh, let's just let them sniff each other's noses. And then that ends up if their hair's turning up already, let's just move on.
That's the thing. Like I warned people before, like Maya loves people. She's very hit and miss with other dogs. So like when I see another dog coming up, I put her in the Bronco because I don't even like attempt it sometimes. And sometimes she's fine and she plays like a normal puppy, but she's 10 and she's a husky, and I'll just leave it as she's a husky, and they're just a very weird breed.
Yeah.
Yep. And sometimes they're sassy.
They had a note down there about helping keep the
Yes.
place clean, Supercell area clean. Remember, this is a small family that puts this on. They're not a big organization, so help them out by helping keep the event clean. And it's a good. It reflects well in the community.
Mhm.
And
if
also with that, no open fire grills.
Yes. I did see that too. No open fires. With the whole trash part, if you were ever a Girl Scout or Boy Scout or whatever, all the different names are, the Scouts, whatever, leave it better than you found it. So if you do see somebody's being nasty, like maybe not call them out and cause a fight, but just like kind of
just tread lightly. Tread lightly there. And also, I hope they have more food options this year. They had a couple great food trucks.
But the lines were really long.
Yeah, I hope they include a few more.
But that's just kind of an event thing too.
That's an idea. You want to know who we should have on?
Who's that?
Matt from Tread Lightly.
We should. Yes, we should.
I'll shoot him a message. Yes, Bird Dog, they do have food trucks there.
Yes. And then tents, if you do set up a tent, keep in mind it can get very windy over there.
We know this
we know for a fact because the day one our tent actually broke. Day one.
Our canopy,
our canopy actually broke. So get some.
So please join membership so we can buy a new one. I'm playing.
So definitely weight down your tents, things like that. Let's see. There are some club special parking. Michigan Bronco Club, which Allie's a part of and helps run, is going to have their own area.
And also Chicago Land Broncos, Bird Dog Overland set up.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think he officially got it.
Nice. So just a lot of little things.
Georgia Broncos they
were massive.
They do a great job.
Massive last year.
Oh, they're amazing. That's honestly where I've gotten a lot of my ideas for Michigan Bronco Club. And I keep referring back to them just because they honestly everything is run so great with them and they have such a great following. It's really cool to see.
Yeah. Kevin Monet dropped $10 on us there. We greatly appreciate that. Kevin is a good friend. And has Danny disappeared? Danny's getting ready for the Mint 400. So big desert race out in Vegas. Kevin, join me on Saturdays. I know you like it. We talk all brand midsize trucks. So you're going to like that one.
Let's see. So just a few quick things just to talk about. You've got your schedule on here. That's the preliminary. It does open up for vendors to set up. Shut up. So you can pick up your pre-registrations on the 18th, but there is nothing going on the 18th except for vendors installing their canopy areas and things like that. So don't expect to attend that day unless you're just picking up your stuff. And then everything starts on Wednesday. They do have schedules for each of the days, so definitely keep an eye on that. If you're just coming in for a day, Friday's the big day, really, when it comes to things. I mean, Saturday is going to be super busy in the morning, but as you can see, they start to kind of go into some more judging, some more broadcasts and things like that. Later in the afternoon. So you're going to really kind of lose some of those opportunities to go from vendor to vendor to vendor on the Saturday.
Nashville Early Bronco, who if you guys were early adapters to the Bronco, that is, I think his name's John, if I remember right. And John is the plaid shirt guy that was in the early Bronco Nation videos. His channel is really cool if you like old Broncos, and they're doing a Bronco podcast now, him and a gentleman out of Nashville, and a super nice guy.
And if you're looking for daily drives, there's a whole section on that. Some of these do require you to sign up or get in touch with some of the local clubs and things like that. So definitely pay attention.
Josh Hamilton is running the Windrock run, and he's been scouting stuff for that now. They had way more last year than they were anticipating, so they want to make sure they have plenty of help this year for that. And Josh is he's one of the guys that helped set up the Bronco Off Rodeo. So that's
just my whole point here is just keep an eye on it and look at the schedule, see what you kind of want to sign up for.
Maybe, did you put a link into that? No?
I will in a minute.
Okay.
Can I finish?
Yes, ma'am.
He's pushing my buttons tonight. Pushing my buttons.
Just be over here.
So they do have some area lodging information. I will tell you, if you've not booked yet, you're going to want to book ASAP if there's even anything available still at some of these places. So definitely check.
And also check like Pigeon Forge and Galtenberg and things like that. Most likely Townsend is booked up, which is where the event actually is. But yeah, they fill up fast.
Yeah. Seth, I don't really have any places to avoid, but I would just say look really closely at Airbnb pictures. Or just stay with a brand name that you can kind of, and I will say that if you ask in some of the groups, people will tell you where they stay and where they really like. I would say if we weren't attending the event as vendors, we might even stay in Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge.
I know Dwayne with Driven Wild Outdoors.
Yeah.
They stay in
Pigeon
Forge.
Like Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg area. So definitely, it's not that far. It's straight up Wears Valley Road. It's probably a 20-minute drive,
which is
beautiful.
A beautiful drive. Just love that drive.
And then there's some campgrounds. I know some of these campgrounds were very filled up the last time I glanced for someone. So just kind of keep in mind that they may all be sold out as well.
There's Little Arrow.
There's Little Arrow Resort. So I don't know anything about that one, Steven. We literally have stayed at Airbnbs and
hotels
name brand hotels. So just kind of that. I'll put the link in the chat again for you guys so you have it if you haven't already.
Yep.
Bird Dog Overland, that's a good point too. Alcoa or Maryville might be a good area too because they're not far up the road either.
Yeah, Maryville's not. It's close to the airport as well. So you got that one.
For Tim, as of the drives, there's not a sign up for the drives. I can honestly recommend show up 20 to 30 minutes before the drive starts. Park your Bronco, get in line. Holy crap, it's busy.
I do anticipate them having an area to line up and stuff like that.
They did last year.
David, the first year that we went, parking was kind of chaotic, but the last year that we went, they were very organized with their parking and everything else. So I anticipate it'll be the same thing where they really just they do have Bronco only parking and they have everywhere else parking.
They have non-Broncos.
Is Bronco Nation having a corral area too, or are they just doing their camping area?
I believe they will have a corral area like they did last year. So kind of how they were over to the side. I assume it'll be set up the same way because this event really started off as the early gen Broncos. So I'm sure they will have their section for Gen 6s as well.
Yeah. That's nice.
So just stay tuned to Bronco Nation.
Somebody was asking about go-karting. I do plan on whipping somebody's ass, two ladies here's asses and some driving. So I get aggressive.
We are go-karting. I don't care.
Wait till you drive with me around me because I will bash go-karts. I've gotten thrown out of these things before.
We've had some questions in the chat. If you missed it the first
time,
it's 14.
We had the interview with Bronc Buster. Nope, I take no prisoner. I go for it. I crashed so bad last time too. Oh my god. We also got in trouble for crashing them, but that's okay. It's fine.
Yes.
Don't talk.
And guys, I also suggest have fun there. I know not everybody's spouses or families always into the Bronco stuff, but there's so much to do there.
It's so cool.
Yeah, just the area, the what's the scenic road?
It's the park or
the Parkway or whatever it's called.
Foothills Parkway.
Yeah, beautiful drive. Like we said, Wears Valley Road, just going in between the places is nice. There's all kinds of there's the Jeep store in Townsend, which if you want to check, it's interesting. It's a lot of cool stuff that way. There's in Townsend itself. I can't say enough about. There's a nice pizza place there that does craft beer and stuff. Really nice. There's literally across the street is a convenient or a grocery store. So don't feel like you have to pack it. You're not way out in yonder somewhere. You're literally in a little town.
And they're prepared. They know you're coming to at the grocery store, so they stock up on like extra ice.
You think they'll have your bright cherry ice cream?
Now I want it. Thanks a lot, butthole.
Wow.
Allie, how excited are you for Supercell?
I'm so excited. I'm stressing the crap out because honestly, buying this house, selling mine. I already told my realtor, I'm like, I am gone. Do not call me. Do not text me from the 18th to the 23rd. I'm like, do not mess with me this week.
What did I tell you when you said I may be putting in an offer on a house tomorrow?
Oh
What did
no,
I tell you?
I'm closing on mine this week.
Oh, closing?
Yeah.
I thought you have a showing. Oh, your new house.
Yeah, the new house. The selling of mine is I didn't make a contingent on it because it's gonna sell fast. I'm not worried about that. Plus I have to fix it up anyway. So yeah. Welcome to my last 2 weeks.
Allie.
Allie's gonna be streaming in a couple weeks from inside her Bronco where she's camping out.
Basically. Well, no. I'll have that one for like 3 to 4 weeks before, like, to rip out the carpet, at least in the master and the new bathroom. So like I have to redo everything. But I'm starting with the master stuff and then the kitchen, and then I'll just go from there. So most of my stuff is in storage, except for like a little bit of decorative things to make it look like I kind of live here. So everything's great.
Wow.
Everything's fine.
Oh man, I can't wait. You're gonna need Supercell, is what it sounds like.
Oh, I so am. It's gonna be hilarious.
All right, start buying drinks and just the little shot glasses or whatever, the little that you get at the liquor stores, and just start handing them to Allie. That's what I suggest.
Yeah, but here's the problem: we're at a car event.
I have to drive. Give me
you can have
water.
a commuter.
Hey, here's the thing: we know where you're staying, so if need be, Allie, you just leave your truck at the event, and you just
trust me. I seen this one so stressed over an event that she just needed a good day to not be in this world.
Wow.
It's gonna be fun. I mean,
no, I'm saying like
you guys have seen the before pictures. I'll be excited to show the after pictures. So
Allie, I'll just say, while we were in the process of buying and selling the house, I went into a grocery store in Oliver Springs, Tennessee, where we were putting on our event, and I lost 45 minutes in the store because I have no idea what I did for 45 minutes other than walk around the aisles. That's how out of it I was. Yeah. So just be prepared.
I'm already there. It's all good.
It's super stressful.
Oh yeah. Everything, like, my motto is typically like everything's fine. No, like I've already had, like, I'm not a crier and I've cried twice. So
girlfriend.
Wow.
You know where to find me. Feel free to reach out if you just need to pick me up.
Remember the day I was like, I can't remember what I was freaking out about. That was part of that. So like
I knew it was when you reached out. It's all good. She was like, I'm sorry, I'm done freaking out. I was like, no, ma'am. You are welcome to freak out anytime.
Well,
it makes me feel more human when other people freak out. Not that I want other people to freak out, but it makes me feel more human when people freak out.
All right, wind them down. Guys, we will have a booth in the event area. We have a booth, so it's not some like we're hanging outside looking in. We have a booth there. Come say hi to us. I'm still working on having a tiny little bar area. We'll come say hi, maybe enjoy a some sort of beverage. And
are you showing our Amazon?
No, not. I just needed the white light.
It just showed all of our history.
Maybe we can
Amazon.
We can get Allie's Bronco over there if you want to check her Bronco out one day. Maybe not.
No, do you remember? We go to the same events, but we don't talk.
Oh yeah, we won't see Allie. That's right.
I know our cabins are right next to each other. We won't talk.
I know.
We're in talks right now to have maybe something pretty fun in our Bronco for the event. So hopefully that happens. If not, it's not a big disappointment. We're gonna have some
the email we got last night.
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna have some fun products. White knuckle rock sliders will be on our Bronco. So if you want to see those in person, they may be scratched up because we're going to Windrock March 18th. So if you're in the area and want to go to Windrock, we will be there. I'm not saying I'm guiding you around. I'm just saying I will be at Windrock, and if you want to come, even just come say hi to us. We're very approachable people. We put our pants on one gold pant at a time, and we're important.
One black yoga pant leg at a time. Thank you very much.
Maybe you.
Oh,
I've got my gold pants on.
Okay, I have my black pants
we're
on.
very important people is what I'm trying to say. Not really. But come say hi to us. If you ever see us out in public, say hi to us, man. Yeah. Just don't creep my daughter out.
I was gonna say the only thing we ask is if Sid's with me, just to kind of not be creepers. She's already like, I don't want to be a part of your thing.
Yeah, she used to want to be part of the member streams we do, and now she doesn't.
Yeah, because she has her own YouTube, and she's all like, well, I don't show my face on there. So what happens if I get big and then I do a face reveal, and because I was on your show, people know it, and there's no surprise to anyone. That's the last thing I need, is for somebody to drop a picture
What a
of
world!
me on your
What a
show.
world we live in.
I was like, dang.
Kids worried about her social media presence.
Right.
What
Well,
a world.
she is the children of us, I guess.
That's true. But once again, March 18th, we will be at Winrock. That is not because of us. That is, we're going to see the Tennessee Bronco. They will be there, the club here locally. And I know we plan on doing a little bit of off-roading. Hopefully the weather holds out. Like, it's not just crazy, you know?
For March 18th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be messy, but either way, we'll be in Oliver Springs, Oak Ridge, Tennessee. So if you ever see our Bronco there, say hi.
Yeah.
Supercell is our next thing. Then I want to announce this now, that we were going to Telluride, Colorado this year. I know we tried to get to Moab last year, and then my life fell apart due to my mother and my son. But hopefully, as long as nobody breaks their arms this year, that we actually get to Telluride. So we chose Telluride because I want my daughter to see those large Alp mountains.
I got my approval for vacation.
That's important.
That's super important.
I was going either way.
I started a new job, so the same company.
Hey guys, Bird Dog has a really good point. The first weekend in August, Bronco takeover at Silver Lake.
We don't like Michigan. People from Michigan, I'm iffy with them.
Yeah.
No, I'm tentative. I think I actually have it on the wall over here.
You're going.
David Rapp says I'm bringing special whiskey, and you can't miss my number 2 T-shirt that I had special made.
Oh, I gotta remember to pack the number 1 shirt then.
You're going.
Who sent me the
Nikki?
Nikki, yeah, Nikki Brewer sent me that shirt. I love that shirt.
She sent me my
Tito's.
Show me your Tito's tank top. By the way, Nikki, if you're still here, I get so many compliments on that tank top whenever I wear it, and then I go, "Oh wait, what am I wearing? Oh, okay. Oh." And then I also
take that PTA.
And then also Honest sent me the I love my cup holders. And not everybody gets that shirt, but
I too love those.
Only
oh my
Bronco owners get it.
Yep.
Silver Lake takeover. We are trying to get there. Till this is full time for me. There's only so many days I can take off before my company's like, you know what?
You don't need to be here anymore.
Yeah, you're really taking off.
They're already questioning at work how many days I'm taking off. They're like, is all of this for Bronco stuff? I'm like, don't ask if you don't want to know.
All of this is for Brighton Ford.
It's like I'm marketing us.
All right, guys. So whether it be 2-wheel drive, Kelly,
4-wheel drive.
It only matters what you drive tonight, because we're talking badass Broncos, and we've been talking with IAG, Miss Allie Dubois, and
Du Bois.
I'm never going to say it the way you want me to, ever.
Good.
Oh man, what are we, Kelly?
We're out.
Peace, everybody. Love y'all.
See ya.